What is up, guys? It's the NJB here, and today I'm going to be doing another Champions League prediction. So I'm going to talk about the games that are going to happen tomorrow, and I'm also going to go over some of the games that happen today. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So first of all, let me talk about the Barca United game. So my prediction was pretty spot on. I knew Barca was going to win, and I knew they were going to do it comfortably, and they did. They beat United, 3-0, and I did say yesterday that United were going to lose to Barca by 3 goals. I just wasn't convinced with them. I didn't see the tactics. Pretty much everything I said kind of happened in the game. United, they just don't have the tactics. I think that's mainly what it comes down to. They just seem like a bunch of guys out there just to try and hope for the best, hope something happens, and it's just not working out for them. Also, they did look like they're missing kind of that defensive presence in the midfield, and not just that, but a player kind of like Matic who would defend in the midfield and also help just distribute the ball out from the midfield. So I do think that's kind of the issue there. Also, Pogba, honestly, I'm going to be surprised if he stays on United coming next season. I just don't see a player like him just fitting in with the squad. I do think he's on another level from his teammates, and I don't know if he wants to go another season trying to carry his team and also possibly taking the blame for the team's defeats anymore. If he does move to a bigger team, everyone's going to look at the whole team rather than individual players. So I think this could be the last time we see Pogba playing for United in the UCL. That's just my opinion. So I don't want to blame him for the loss. I think just basically I'd say De Gea made a pretty silly mistake not stopping that shot from Messi, and it's kind of similar to the shot Ronaldo took on him in the World Cup, and he wasn't able to stop that shot. So maybe he has a weakness against balls, like powerful shots on the ground. Also, United's defense. I looked at the defensive lineup, and might as well just put like freaking anything else standing there, maybe like garden domes or whatever, because the defenders were not playing well. I saw the lineup, I was like, yeah, Barca's gonna go in on them, and yeah, defenders didn't play well. Midfield looked pretty much dead. De Gea, he did give a few bad balls out there, but you kind of have to look at it both sides. I mean, no one was really moving to get open to receive the ball. I just think United, they were defeated before the match even started. So that's my opinions on that. United, they've got a lot of work to do. Solskjaer, I think next season he really has to put in a style of play for United to just play, because right now the honeymoon is over. Now we have to see what United can do, and I'm not really impressed. So the next thing for them is just to stay in the top 4 and try and get in the Champions League next season. It would be easier if an English team wins the Champions League this year, but we'll have to see on that. I think either Liverpool City or Tottenham. I may have to talk about predictions for that, but if either of them can win it, then it would be easier for them. If not, then I don't know. They might lose some people who want to keep playing in the Champions League. So that's that. The next game that I don't know, I can't really say I'm surprised so much, but it did catch me a little bit off guard. So that's Ajax and Juventus. Ajax, they played a better football. They played better than Juventus. Honestly, I do think the game was a little closer in the midfield than I would have thought, but Ajax had all the chances. Ajax were just better in attack. I mean, I think all the time Ajax attacked, they had like at least 4 people up there. They're creating good link-up plays. They're getting open for each other. They're taking on players. Ajax are doing it right. Juventus, not so much. I mean, Juventus, they really reminded me of Real Madrid kind of last season, where they're just trying to get the ball to Ronaldo and hope for the best, because Ronaldo can finish pretty much any chance you give him, but I don't think it worked this time. Ajax were able to pretty much limit Juventus' options, because Juventus were only trying to play through Ronaldo, and that's the main issue. Dybala didn't play that well. That's not really different from his whole season. I just don't think they've managed to help him adapt to this new style of play that Juventus are playing, kind of to benefit Ronaldo. They really should have tried to get the best out of Dybala. I did say yesterday that I would have started Ronaldo and Dybala, just because I think they could be a good attacking duo, but this probably wasn't the match to test that against. So yeah, I think that Dybala didn't play that well. they really need to find a way to get the best out of him if he does stay for next season. The rest of the team, there wasn't really much coming from Bernardeschi. The way he played against Atletico, he did not play the same way against Ajax. So that's that. I guess Douglas Costa wasn't available. Mandzukic wasn't available, so they didn't have a lot of attacking options. I say they weren't available, but I'm not really too sure. I just didn't see them on the bench, so I'm kind of assuming they weren't available. I don't know why you wouldn't use them, but honestly, all I have to say is Juventus, they just didn't play well enough. I think they should have pressured the ball a lot more. I think they should have kept the pressure on Ajax and just attacked better. Just the main thing is that they were too dependent on Ronaldo, and as great as a player Ronaldo is, you cannot win the Champions League just by depending on one guy. Ronaldo's great, but you need to have other people pick up the slack and work harder. And I just don't think that's I think that was the issue with Juventus. So for next season, honestly, I would be surprised if Allegri is still the manager at Juventus. I don't know who I'd say should replace him, but he's been there for a long time now, quite a while, and he just hasn't really done it in the Champions League. And I feel like if anyone should really take the blame for this defeat, it should be Allegri. I mean, every time Juventus, if you want Juventus to play well, like they did against Atletico in the second leg, they need to be down the first leg, and then they need to try and come back, because that's exactly what they did against Atletico. This time, they weren't down, they were tied, and they did have the away goal advantage, and they came out, they did play a little better, but they still just weren't going for it. They just didn't look creative enough. They looked like they realized that, oh no, they're in a situation where they're down and now they have to come back. But they didn't look like they came out with that mindset to just score goals and dominate Ajax. So I don't want to take anything against Ajax. I think they played fantastically, and I think they've proven that they can play the best against the best, and they are one of the best teams in the world right now. I'm going to say it right now, that's what I think. I was wrong to kind of underestimate them. I did think that beating Real Madrid, even though I'm still going to say it's not a triumph because this Madrid team was trash this season, but they're a good team and we shouldn't underestimate them. And I am interested to see how well they do against I believe they're playing either City or Tottenham. So I'm pretty sure that's who they're playing now, because there isn't a draw this season for the semifinals. It's just going to be like the winners of one fixture play winners of another fixture. So that's that. That's it for the games I was talking about today. And now I'm going to talk about who I think is going to win tomorrow. So first match I'm going to talk about tomorrow, let's do Liverpool and Porto. I do think it was pretty close last time, but I don't see Porto pulling an Ajax and coming back. Liverpool, they should finish more of their chances, and they should probably work a bit harder in the midfield, but I do think that the front three will pull through, and I think they'll score probably 2 more goals, but maybe Porto might get 1 in. So I want to say Liverpool are going to win, and they will score at least 2 goals. That's my opinion, and the final score would probably be 4-1. But overall, for me, I think predicting who's going to go through is more important than the scoreline. So Liverpool go through, and I think there isn't much to look at in that match. I just see Liverpool going through, and then they'll play Barcelona. So this next match is going to be the tough one for me to predict. So I'm pretty sure Harry Kane is not fit, so Tottenham will be without their main striker. And you could say that they do play better without him. I've heard people say it, and I kind of agree. But it's one thing to play good without your main man for one game, but for like a few games and against a tough opponent, then we see, okay, you're bouncing back from losing your main player, but how long can you keep it up? Are you just like that player who can keep playing day in and day out scoring goals, or are you just going to go back to your comfort zone and not do that well? So this is the match where I can't give 100% of which team I want to say is going to win, but I will say this, it is going to be, I feel like we're going to be surprised. I do think Tottenham, now that they have their home stadium, I feel like they just have this more of a comfort to them, and I just feel like they're not scared of City. Now, on City's side, I feel like the players they use in the midfield will make the difference. So I think in the last game they subbed on De Bruyne and It's another player. I think it might have been Bernardo Silva. Don't remember. I'm really trying to remember. Could have been. I know it was two good players. Or no, it wasn't in the midfield. It was Sane. It was De Bruyne and Sane. So they are both of City's some of City's top players, and I do think that if they start those two, then the game will be more in City's favor. But then again, if Tottenham does get a goal or two, then Tottenham will go through. So I don't see City trashing Tottenham. I think Tottenham are too good of a team for City to trash. And I think I think Tottenham's tactics, Pochettino's tactics, are very good defensively and in possession. And I don't see City just demolishing them. I feel like De Bruyne will make the difference in the midfield, but I think that they're gonna have a hard time. So for this game, I don't think either team will score more than 3 goals. I think it's gonna be, I say 2 goals will be the highest from either team, and I want to say the game will be, I want to say it's going to be a tie. I want to say it's going to be 2-2, and it's going to be a tie, and Tottenham will go through on away goals. Mainly, this is because with Guardiola, his players usually don't play differently from how he wants them to play. He has tactics that he wants his teams to play. We've seen this in Barcelona, and more recently we've seen it in Bayern. Bayern played against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and they were knocked out, and Atletico, and they were knocked out by 3 different Spanish teams that all played different styles of play. And even though he had good players on those teams, they got knocked out because his team just cannot adapt to playing a different type of opponent. And we've already seen this against Lyon, where they played against his full strong City team. And when he plays against tricky players like that, the team kind of falls apart because they don't know what to do. And that's happened against Bayern, and it's happened against City this season too. So I think that City, they're going to do well. I think Tottenham are going to do well, but I just feel like we're going to see weakness in Guardiola's system, the same as we've seen last season and the years before that. And I think that it's going to be a tie and Tottenham will go through. So that's going to be my predictions for this round. I think Liverpool will beat Porto fairly comfortably, but Porto might get 1 goal in at home. And I think that City and Tottenham will tie, and Tottenham will go through on away goals. So those are my predictions. The one I'm kind of unsure about is the Tottenham City one. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I feel like it could go either way, but I don't want to be on the fence. I just want to say I don't want to be that person who said it could go either way, even though I did just say that. But I'm going to say it's going to be a tie, and Tottenham will go through on away goals. So Tottenham go through, Liverpool go through. Tottenham will play, I believe it is Ajax, and then Liverpool will play Barcelona. So that's my predictions for this round. So far my predictions, overall I was wrong with Juventus. I did say, I've been telling everyone I know I haven't made videos on it, but I've been telling everyone I know that Juventus were going to win the Champions League, just because I feel like they had a strong team, and Ronaldo just gives them the extra bit of quality to win it. But I guess I was wrong. Honestly, I feel like Juventus' faults are mainly down to the manager and the fact that they just cannot elevate their game when they have to. They're just too comfortable. They don't take teams out when they should. So I think that's a problem that Juventus have to work on. And honestly, I feel like they should look into getting a new manager, because this manager that they have right now, he's failed. This is probably like his 4th main fail against a team in the Champions League that could have been different. I feel like Juventus do have a better team on paper than Ajax. It's just the way the team is playing just wasn't good enough. So that's all I have to say about that. But other than that, that's gonna pretty much sum up my video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This has been the NJB. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, mates.